this thing on? If it's on, give me a minute, cause I can't figure it out. It says we're awesome. It's like on a delay for me, so I can't. Man. Okay. Anyways, welcome back to the last relic. It's me, Gabriel. Um, I tried streaming the other day. It wasn't working. Today's stream's gonna be just a little different. The I'm gonna do a review on this brand, the Super X Apparel. They're they're a pretty awesome company. I think it's more like a fitness company, like a fitness clothing line. Regardless, they are officially licensed. They have the official license of Marvel and Star Wars. But before we get into that, like I'm gonna give you guys some updates. Obviously, we're not in the store no more. Um, I don't know how much I could talk about it, but eventually, like I'll let you guys know why we're not in the store no more. Anderson's doing his own thing, away from YouTube, and he might come back every now and then, maybe. Um, that's something we haven't really talked about, but it's pretty much just gonna be me. The future of this channel, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it exactly, but it's gonna be the same of superhero stuff, pop culture, gaming, and just having fun with it. Um, I tried making a video, and I wanted to do a review video of this clothing line yesterday. The film quality sucked. The video was terrible. The sound was completely off. I couldn't even connect the mic. So yeah, the and I it took me hours from yesterday and today to figure out just to set up the stupid streaming, because I guess all this software updates and just things that I don't get. Like I'm learning how to do YouTube just off the cuff, but I figured, you know what? I'll do a live stream review and then cut that into a video later. Just like cut it and then just put it in. Um, but other than that, I'm not going to do videos until I can actually figure it out. Not about editing really, because I think that's just gonna take some time. Of keep practicing and doing whatever I gotta do. But yeah, the I'm not too worried about having the most perfect editing over time. It's gonna get better and better, or whatever it is I plan to do with the channel. But it's just gonna be for fun, man. Like just hanging out with you guys and whoever pops in. I know it's been, I think, almost a year, and yeah. So whoever comes in, awesome. I'll be more consistent. I'll uh, definitely do more live streams consistently, at least once a week. So sorry. Yeah. Anyways, okay. And it's not just gonna be a review today. I'm gonna go through the pros and cons of this fitness brand, but yeah, we'll talk about like some superhero stuff, the way I think Marvel's going, and DC for sure. And we'll talk more about. I guess we'll talk more about DC later. But yeah, it's not looking good for Marvel, man. They suck. They suck right now. And it's things that we talked about in the past that it was obvious. But anyways, let's get to the review. Okay, so I bought 3 different Super X Punisher series. They have a Punisher collection. Usually, how this brand works, they have they pick a character off the property. So like Star Wars, they did Darth Vader in the beginning, at least from what I know. Like this company has been around, but Now that they got official licenses, it's a little different. They got Power Rangers, which look awesome. I plan to get the Red Ranger like hoodie and joggers. But yeah, they have Darth Vader for Star Wars, and then the newest one that's coming out is the Mandalorian like gear. The jacket and joggers looks pretty sick. The rash guard looks to me terrible. Um, and then they did come out with a Green Arrow one. It doesn't. It's the Green Arrow one. Just from its look, it looks very much like you could wear it anywhere. Nobody's gonna know it's Green Arrow. But I'm the kind of guy that I like. I like my logos. Like I bought the rash guard, and later on I'll show you guys the rash guard. But the Punisher logo is even bigger, man, and it's freaking sick. So the there's a there's a YouTuber that's I guess their main guy that does the reviews for this clothing line. And I believe it's Jamelio. Let me see what his name is. It's Jamilio, something like that. Actually, he just released a video 7 hours ago. Yeah, he does really good reviews, pretty in depth review. It's very nice and pretty and formulaic. But yeah, like he's the kind of guy that he doesn't really like the logo. I do. I love the freaking logo. Um, Again, go to his channel if you want more reviews. I think he's pretty honest about it. I can't. Sometimes I can't tell if it's his opinion or not. And it's like especially the Superman one because that Superman movie sucked. That Superman logo sucks. You know, James Gunn's Superman is just freaking awful. But all the way around, and I've said that in previous live streams, how much I've hated the suit. The color was great, but the whole suit was terrible. But anyways, the Super X apparel review. So I bought the rash guard, the shorts, and then this performance shirt. I'm gonna show you the packaging it comes in because it's actually pretty freaking dope. So comes in with this packaging right here, bam. And then behind it, it's not my favorite comic book art. And there's the brand right there. But it's pretty sweet nonetheless. I also bought two of their Spider-Man ones, which they also partnered with athletes like Anderson Silva, Rampage Jackson, UFC fighters. They partnered with Lee Priest. I when I back when I was took bodybuilding more seriously. I'm getting back in the gym now. But back when I took it more seriously, Lee Priest is one of the guys that I always loved. He it was like the first bodybuilder I saw with a tattoo when I was a kid. He had a Superman tattoo right on his shoulder, and I couldn't tell if it was a tattoo because I didn't know about tattoos. But and he always wore like a Superman like chain. But yeah, he's a pretty freaking buff guy. But anyways, the Punisher. Okay, first off, I'm wearing medium, size medium for both my shorts and shirt. The rash guard I bought large. I like it a little more loose. So probably in the future I'm gonna buy large to extra large for the shorts and the shirt. I'm like I don't have big arms at all, you know, but it's pretty nice fit. And when I stand up here, I'm gonna stand up just to show you guys real quick. See that? Bam. So you see this design right here? It's like a different kind of material, like a breathing material. It stretches a lot. It's nice. I'm not a fan of this kind of stitching though, all the way around. Like I did this the other day, and my nail kind of got caught in it and just became all fuzzy. So I'm not. I think it's like a reflection cotton thing. I don't know. Like I think it's okay. There's a lot going on with this, so that's one of the cons about it, and that's just more like a nitpick of my style. I like it more plain, like if it was all black, just with a Punisher, and then maybe like a design here or there. One of the cool things is like back here. This is like a stitching. It's really nice Punisher logo. The like I like that they actually have Marvel on it. I would prefer just to blend in, like the Marvel logo would be instead of the red, it would be just black with the white outline that says Marvel, or at least in the back or something like that. But it's super comfortable. It like this is black, so it's a little more fitting, like it's a little more appealing to the eye, but I feel pretty good, pretty confident with it. It fits well. And even though it's tight, it's still loose at the same time. Like it's tight up here, but it's loose when it gets to the waist. So it doesn't like really hug. The the reflective, like I noticed running even in the dark, like being out at night, like it's a little easier to see, so it's kind of nice. Like I love the Punisher logo that they went with. Like I probably wouldn't have bought it if they went with the one that actually shows on the packaging. That, like I said, not my favorite Punisher logo. This is like I guess the most iconic one out of all of them. Even from the original one, was just like a regular skull coming down to like the clips he has on his utility belt. But yeah, like it's I can't like I'm not gonna go too much into it just because it just is a good freaking um like shirt. Like it's like I would say it's well worth it. It is um it's like a pre-order, so you have, like they make it when you purchase it. So there is a usually like long shipping time, but to me it was pretty quick. Like it's probably only a few weeks. Now, what I really like is the shorts. So I will show you guys the shorts. Man, I might just stand up here. So there's this little design here that's just a Punisher skull, and I prefer this reflection type material. Like I'd be okay with this kind of material here. See how it shines a little bit all over. Now this one, you see the white. This is what stretches. This is the only con that I don't know why this material doesn't stretch as much. The the belt that keeps it tight is kind of like this. I don't know, like a bungee. I don't know what it is in English. I really don't. But it's this little belt thing. Pretty simple. The the inside has like I always call it like the thigh tattoo. Has this design. It has the pocket for a cell phone. So if you look right there, put your cell phone in it. Great for running. But yeah, it's a simple review. Like it's I think so far from everything I bought, like when I show you guys the rash guard, it's gonna be sick. I got the Spider-Man one. They feel good. When you grab it, it's very thin, but not like see-through like some of the crappy rash guards that you get. But then when you put it on, it has a nice weight to it. It has like a sticky technology on the bottom. Um, and it's good. Like uh, I like to do jujitsu, so I'm always looking for rash guards, especially ones that have like superhero type stuff. It's really hard to find a nice one. Like I went to freaking Amazon and bought one for $10. I still love it's the Superman one, and it's because it has the original logo, like the nice logo. And like if you see pictures on my Instagram or something, you've probably seen it before. But I'm not doing that James Gunn one. Like Super X Apparel has it. It sucks. It's awful. Not saying like the clothing and like the textures and everything is bad, but it's just like that logo. I ain't ever gonna get that. Um, the like I said, I do jujitsu, so these shorts I actually bought it for jujitsu, but because of the zipper. Anybody who does jujitsu, they know, and I'm not like an athlete or anything. I just enjoy training. You don't want shorts with pockets, and even if they have pockets, there's some really nice one that have pockets, but they don't have zippers. They're pretty tight, So like it's just for you to rest your hand really, and you gotta fit it in there. But it's just as dangerous if you catch your fingers. You could break your fingers by rolling and whatnot. And with just the if it was just a regular zipper, it'd be fine. But it has that nice detail, which I'm not complaining. It is super nice. And that actually that's the original Punisher logo. Um, so I won't be able to use for that, but for running, it's awesome. Like the cell phone fits all the way in, even with like mine. That's like a really thick case because I had to keep like my credit cards and stuff like right in there. Yeah, it's nice. It's awesome. So for me, like overall, if I'm counting looks, feel 10 out of 10. If I'm counting looks, like 8 out of 10. Like even the rash guard, it has like lines that's supposed to emulate like I guess bulletproof jacket, and that is just like I'm not a big fan of that, but they're black lines, so it's nicer. Now I'm sorry if the review isn't like I'm posing and all that stuff, but it's nice. Like this is a simple review. It's one of my first ones, and I'm not posting all that because I'm exhausted. Like I've been trying to mess with this camera for 2 hours. I kept delaying the stream. Like if you look at the thumbnail, I couldn't even get that right. Like I did all pretty and nice as much as I could, and I couldn't even extend it all the way till it fit the screen. So like I'm freaking learning this stuff, and I'm having fun with it. So like you guys are gonna go on the journey with me of how everything's gonna work and how much I improve, which will probably be very slow. But I always improve like a little thing here and there. The the company, the clothing, like you are paying for quality. That's 100%. It's more expensive than the other clothing companies like Invicta Carew and some like Anime Apparel or Anime Ape. And it's worth it though. It isn't because they have licensing with Star Wars, with Marvel. Um, they have a GI Joe line. They have Transformers, which I think they're almost done with, and they're limited, so they only make a certain amount. So I guess this is more of a review overall, but yeah, they're only gonna make a certain amount of each one, like maybe 1,000 of like the Spider-Man jacket, like sweater, or like 300 of like a shorts and whatnot. But yeah, so like if you really like something, just get it. It'll come, and yeah, it's a little more pricey, but definitely worth it. Like I already worked out twice in this clothing since I've had it, and I feel good. Like never once caught rolled up my stomach when I'm doing pull-ups or something. Um, one thing that I will agree on. Freaking, I forget his name. This dude, the main Super X main athlete, I guess, is the Jamilio dude. He says the shorts with the size like ball huggers, and it's true. For me, I prefer large, so it ain't as tight. Like I'm not worried about it when I'm training. Like cause like I'm in the mode of training. So then when I'm training, doing squats or whatnot, like I don't feel it. When I'm doing sit ups, like if you're a guy, you know what you gotta do to make it comfortable. But yeah, like it really hugs. It's nice on the thighs. When it gets up there, it gets up there. So I weigh like 175 to 180, 5'8", um, relatively fit. I would probably go for a large. My thighs are like 28 inches around. Yeah, I'd go for a large. And rash guards, I like the large. It feels and they're supposed to be tight, but I would be right there. Like if I get bigger, which I plan to, in the next few years, probably move up to an extra large in the future. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much my review, guys. Like it's a bomb company. I'm glad I came across it. I don't know what it is about Power Rangers this year. Like I know it's the 30th anniversary, but whoever was in charge of the marketing, they're doing a phenomenal job because it's everywhere, man. Like my son, my oldest son, he's 5 years old. Never once mentioned Power Rangers. A few months back, got into it. My my friend got him a Power Rangers toy. Like we watch it every other day or so. It's been like a week, but when we watch TV, we're gonna watch Power Rangers. And yeah, man, like it's just blowing up. And they got a nice Power Rangers line. The If you guys are a fan of Power Rangers, when you look at Super X Apparel, one of the athletes or the models of the black getup, it was actually the Black Ranger from the original series. The what 80, the Mighty Morphin. I don't know when it came out, 89 or something. But yeah, and it's nice. All of it is really nice. They got the Green Ranger, Black Ranger, blue, red, pink, yellow. It's nice. It's hella nice. Like I said, limited. So if a size sells out, and like sizes will sell out, I'm not sure how much I like that. Because it's you buying it and then they're gonna make it or buy to order. However, it's in my interpretation. Like I assume that when you make the purchase, then they go and make it. And I think the sizes should be irrelevant to the point of like if I'm gonna make one, like I'm not gonna sell out medium and still have larges around. Like, but whatever. That's the company, but that's how it works. So if you see it and size available, buy it as soon as you see it because it's gonna run out eventually. Some are like they're only making 100 of them. I know they got GI Joe, Transformers, Assassin's Creed, Power Rangers, um, Punisher, or Marvel and DC and Star Wars. The some like my favorite superhero ever is Daredevil. I don't think I'm gonna purchase any of the Daredevil lines. Like, as much as I love the show and it's the best thing Marvel has ever done, it doesn't have it's too many details when it's all I need is a red suit with a few lines and the huge logo, the DD for Daredevil. Like, I love my logos. It's why I'm a bigger DC fan than Marvel fan, or I gravitated more to DC. Like, there's other reasons why I'm a DC Comics fan, but it yeah, that's what grabbed my eye. Is like Batman has got that big yellow and black symbol, the Superman giant symbol. Like even Wonder Woman had her little eagle thing. Um, yeah, the Flash, and I know they have a Flash. Like just check out the Super X apparel or superx.co. That's the company. Like, dude, it's like if you're looking for freaking fitness gear and on the nerdy side, it's the highest quality. Like I bought like a good amount of them, like of different companies, and this by far has been my favorite. And I've only bought two. The Spider-Man one that I got, super accurate to the comic book Spider-Man, um, and so far I like it better than the Punisher one, and I'm a huge Punisher fan. But yeah, that's my review of some of the company and also what I'm wearing. It's nice. But let's get into let's get into Marvel talk. All right. I First I got to turn on this fan because we're in my garage and I'm in Florida and it is freaking it gets hot. I It's anybody who ever enjoyed the MCU, ever since Infinity War, if you're a real fan and you could if you use your brain, you know that the last good movie was Infinity War, with the exception, still from Sony, which was a halfway good movie, was No Way Home. Like a real comic book fans, real Marvel fans, DC fans will be very critical on what we read and watch. Like it's not gonna be like, oh, because Spider Man's on screen, it's a freaking perfect movie. No, man. Tom Holland Spider Man, that like the first two, three movies, that ain't Spider Man. Like No Way Home became more Spider-Man, and at the end they retconned everything. Yeah, we might get a Spider-Man movie this time with a real MJ, not whatever her freaking name is, Zendaya, whatever, and Ned would actually turn into the Hobgoblin. Who knows? Like I have no faith in what they're gonna do with Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire. As much as the third movie sucked, that was Spider-Man through and through. Like it's Spider-Man 2 is still the best. Is it the best comic book movie? I would say so. Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Uh, right now I can't think of much, but Spider-Man 2 is the best comic book movie. Okay, all my friends that are actual fans of Marvel and read comics, which is two different things now. Used to be the same thing, but they're two different things now. Knows that Endgame sucks. So after Infinity War, we had Captain Marvel, Endgame, and then Phase 4, and I guess we have Phase 5. Like, I just thought it was all Phase 4 because they suck so hard. And the best thing that came out of it was Thunderbolts. Like, I think people forgot that we had Shang-Chi, Eternals. What, like, I guess the little Miss Marvel TV shows. Like, all the TV shows are terrible. I I still like when I watched Daredevil Born Again, like I couldn't even remember. I couldn't be bothered. The dialogue was off. It had nothing to do with the previous show that came before. Like no fault to the actors. And as much as I want to hate on Kevin Feige, he sucks as I guess an ideas guy, creator guy, but he's great at building teams. So like the brothers that did Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. Endgame still sucked though. So the Russo brothers. So that I don't know how much studio involvement versus their creative process versus I don't know. It was bad. Um, Financially a success, culturally garbage. And that's actually where the real success is culture. It's if a movie stand the test of time, if like you can watch it again and again and get not only the same feelings but even better feelings about it. Like when I say like you get happier every time you watch it, you enjoy it, you appreciate the things that came before every time you watch it. When you watch Endgame, it's kind of like, oh, like I guess I'll wait till it gets good at the end battle and some of the jokes, but you're just waiting for the scenes to pass to get to it. Like I watched it maybe twice, and I tried watching it multiple times after that. I know I did, and I just couldn't. Just because I know what I have to freaking get through to get to anything that I remotely like, probably not gonna watch it. So I would just end it there, and it's why like I stopped watching I stopped expecting anything good to come out of this stuff because now Kevin Feige is like the one man show. He's really good at putting teams together, getting people and like helping them stay in a direction. Um, like, and some people need that. Like, if you look at Zack Snyder, Snyder versus terrible. I don't care what you guys say. It is awful. Jump into DC, Snyderverse, awful. Even his last movie, awful. That 4 hour Snyder cut, it was still trash. He's the kind of guy that you kind of need a studio to bring him in so that he makes a good movie. Because if he just left to his own devices, the guy goes off the rails, man. Like he puts his political opinion, he puts his like anything that he thinks is cool, he's gonna fit into it. And he doesn't come back to be like, oh no, wait a minute, this story needs to be contained within this universe. Like he did that zombie movie. Oh, and he did that freaking. I forgot that he did the. I guess his version of Star Wars. I don't. Rebel Moon, is that it? Man, I forgot that existed. It had like I don't know, it had weird stuff in it. It freaking sucked. But anyways, man, yeah, he did that. Freak. He he needs studio to like tell him to stop. Warner Brothers did a lot of terrible things. Like his daughter, unfortunately, like she's no longer with us, and from how do I put this so like YouTube doesn't f with me. She decided not to be in this dimension no more, officially. Trying to be nice, and I'm trying not to get effed around. Um, and because a father was grieving, Warner Brothers was like, "Well, we like our money more you know, than we have empathy or a soul, so we're going to fire this dude." That's effed up. Um, and then we got Josh Whedon's. Is that his name? Is that who the director is? We got his version of Justice League, and it's because he took the concept and footage that Zack Snyder had and tried to fit a movie, and like you even see like he put his little things, like he knew that he didn't make a good movie just from the beginning of the movie where there's the homeless guy that says I tried. Like that was a nod to the fans, like, hey, please don't judge me over this. I had to work with what existed. I couldn't start from scratch. Like kind of like a Peter Jackson situation with The Hobbit. Give me a second. Apple juice. So okay, the so Kevin Feige almost needs like another person to tell him, dude, you're not the creative guy. Like you're a manager, you're not a leader. That's very two different things. Very few people can be both. Like a good amount of people actually can be both, but there's some people that can only be leaders and never a manager because it's just too overwhelming. Some people that like it's funny, leaders who try to be managers and they can't do it, it's overwhelming to them. But managers who try to be leaders are kind of like narcissists where they think they're doing a good job because the manager side of them is like a validation of their leadership, but their leadership is they don't know how to lead. They just know how to be a boss people around, but not show them how to do it. Anybody who's worked any job like has seen that at any level too. Um, but yeah, the state of Marvel is abysmal. Like we it's something I talk like I don't even go to comic books shops anymore. It's been years. But something that was always mentioned is when we talked about movies is that we cannot lower our standards. Like the highest standard of movie I would say is Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. Phenomenal. The extended editions, and he was even able to like I watched the theatrical editions just because I'm like, what did they cut out? Which they cut out like a good amount of stuff out that actually was essential to the plot or a nice finalization of why something happened. And obviously there's I guess you could say the fluff, like it still adds that fluff still adds to the characters. Like because of how great it was filmed and the acting, like a scene where Frodo and Sam they've left the Shire and then they see the elves going leaving Middle Earth and they express like Sam's like I don't know why it makes me sad even though they understand that it's their way of going to heaven. They're going to the undying lands. They're leaving Middle Earth because you could see just from that few seconds like Sam cherishes and everything leading up to it. It's adding to how much he cherishes the Shire, how much he loves the Shire. He has a sense of adventure, but overall, he will never leave the Shire. And Frodo, he's more of like in wonder. He wants the wondrous things, but he's still kind of like a guy that goes with the flow. He knows he knows that he needs to fulfill his duties, and so he's a little more like he doesn't let his mind go back to the past, go back to like, no, we left the Shire. I remember this. He's not a nostalgic person. He's looking forward and hoping that things will end up back in the Shire. That this is just a journey. It's going to be a story of his life that he'll be able to share with the people in Hobbiton, right? So that's the standard of movie making. 20 years later, even though like the cave trolls, like, yeah, that's CGI, but because of the emotional attachment we already have when these obvious things that are obviously CGI, we can't even differentiate that from reality. It looks so real to us because they've already grasped the emotional part of things. Because we're following a well written story, we're part of the journey. We understand the perspective of each and every character when they're on screen, when they're talking, when they're having a conversation. Like it's beautiful, the fluidity, and we were getting that with Marvel. Like, we got the first Iron Man movie, great first and second act, some issues in the middle, third act drops off, but overall phenomenal superhero movie, great start. I still love the Edward Norton Hulk movie. I just because it's just like I want to see a big green monster. I want the big CGI battle. Don't give a damn. It's not the best written story. There's a lot of problems, but I loved it. It was very true to it's it like you could feel that a comic book fan was involved. Thor, simple story, but it's a great start to Thor. You strip him of his powers in a small town. It's his introductory to Earth. Like, like for instance, like Dark World sucks, but it because of his power, his level of superhero, and involving Earth, it's stupid that the Avengers didn't assemble, right? It makes sense if it's in space, but then you got Guardians of the Galaxy. Like it's just things that weren't well thought out. They're like, we just need to make a second Thor movie, and it's like it should have taken place all on Asgard, while he had to go back and forth on Earth. Like it should have been like just that. Um, Kind of like the Ragnarok situation, but Ragnarok, it's well written, but in my opinion, garbage comic book movie. Like I never want to see Hulk throw a tantrum, and I never want to see that many jokes in a comic book movie. I'm okay with jokes, but it just there's even like Infinity War. I think it's too jokey. Like it should be real jokes, like within the universe. Like it makes sense. Like for instance, in Lord of the Rings, Gimli makes a joke saying something is ridiculous that women just sprout out of the ground because they look so similar to men or something like that. Aya when she laughs and then because Aragorn says it's the beards, it's funny within the universe and then it's funny for the audience. That's an in-universe comedy. Okay, like a lot of the superhero jokes were the jokes where they made a joke and it was the look at the camera joke, like make a joke, haha, like that. You know what I mean? So I think I think there was a fall off on there because they definitely had a formula, and every movie was just like, here's where we insert comedy, here is the points we need to hit, and the jokes. It seemed like it was the same writer every time. Like Marvel now has a formula. Um, the and it could have still lasted. I would say all the way to the first Avengers movie, even though there was hit and misses with storytelling and obviously like Iron Man 2, terrible movie, but you still loved watching it. Um, it like Iron Man 2 is like a guilty pleasure. Like you enjoy it, but you know it's like what you're watching is hot garbage. Um, like for me, one of my guilty pleasures is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Terrible, but man, there's like just some details that they really did well, and they were like experimenting. It was just kind of like a, I don't know. It's like the first Avengers movie for monsters. Like that's how I put it. I enjoy the crap out of the movie. Anything with Sean Connery in it was always great. To me, like watching it, I just love the guy. James Bond, Indiana Jones. You know, like it's just great having it's like Highlander seeing Sean Connery on screen. The obviously the freaking woke era, the pandering, the like it Marvel became a tool instead of entertainment. It had nothing to do with the comics no more. And then they adapted the wrong comics that nobody ever even cared about. Like they know the sales, but they cared so much about their agendas or like they couldn't just go out and be like, hey, in my Instagram my name is Kevin Feige. I believe in this. So if you follow me, you're gonna get this kind of freaking stuff. Like I'm for this, this, and this. I support this, this, and this. No problem. I don't care if you're a certified freak. Like you're doing it on your account, you. But then when you go and put it into a movie using a character that the comics made millions of, and the only reason you're able to make a film out of this is because me, us, the comic book fans, we put our money, gave them to the comic book shops, the writers who cared about creating entertainment, and through good writing, through good art, that skyrocketed, and then you saw that people like this thing, and now you're gonna make a movie so that you can also make money and bring entertainment to us. And then you're surprised when you took that thing and made it your own piece of hot garbage that had nothing to do with good writing, good art, good comics, had nothing to do with the fans wanted, and you're surprised that nobody put money into it and you lost money because you wanted to sell your agenda, your idea, your belief. It's okay to put a little bit of your beliefs, as in like, hey, like I'm atheist, and then look for a character who maybe was written originally as an atheist, or like, hey, look, I'm a Catholic. Maybe if you want to put some Catholicism, you should look into Daredevil and being like, how can I implement some of my experiences into this character because this character is Catholic. But it'd be ridiculous to freaking make, I don't know, Iron Man Catholic because the dude's a womanizer and a billionaire and he doesn't give a damn about nothing in the beginning. You know, like, why make him a Catholic? Because that doesn't add to the story, it just takes away from other stories that you can't, that like, it takes away from experiences that makes him the character that you can't have if he were part of certain cults, religions, organizations, certain types of school. Like, you can't write a story of Tony Stark ending up being the Tony Stark we know and going to public school. There's no way that dude went to public school and then ended up that character. You feel me? Okay. This is stuff everybody already knows. Marvel ain't gonna change. It's, I would say, us as the fans, we've lost the war on Marvel already. It's done. There's no, like, think about all the stuff that they need to fix to be able to bring us back, because comic books are not supposed to end ever, ever. You know, like, I don't want to see Spider-Man die and then give a mantle. Like, it's not a mantle. Like, if Spider-Man dies, Spider-Man is dead. So you got Miles Morales. He should. I've always thought like Miles Morales should have been like a Robin to Peter Parker, as Robin is Batman. Like if you're gonna do that, make it like Peter Parker's fault that he got these certain powers from another spider that they were experimenting. Maybe he's starting to work at Oscorp. I don't know. Like make a comic where Peter Parker's like not retired, but he's up there in age in his 40s and has kids, and he is somewhat like he's doing well in life. He finally has overcome a little bit, but he can still be Spider-Man. So like, it's not that he balanced things out; is that Mary Jane finally understood? Because in the comics, like, it comes to a point where Mary Jane finally understands that, hey, look, the job comes first. Spider-Man comes first above all because people need Spider-Man. So she doesn't feel she no longer feels like she's second in his life. She still feels first with him being Spider-Man because Mary Jane comes first to Peter Parker, but Spider-Man comes first to the world. And then you can write a story where like maybe Miles Morales, he was like one of those actually kind of like what they did in Civil War where like a similar thing like maybe like he got some sort of scholarship to work with Peter Parker cuz he's interested in science, doesn't care too much about bugs, but then Peter Parker like disregarded the safety procedures and had him go and work in the little lab with him, and then he got bit by a spider, and now he has like an overwhelming amount of issues that maybe Peter Parker didn't have to face, and then Miles Morales is even younger than when Peter Parker um, got bit by a spider, so then there's a lot more immaturity there, and then you could it would play into the story because Peter Parker, it isn't that he's a screw up, but things constantly go wrong in his life. That is, it's hard to say that that's like the appeal of Spider-Man, but the reason why we're so attracted to his character is because life isn't perfect for the guy. He is the representation of the little guy. That great powers bestowed upon him, and therefore he has a great responsibility, which happens to most of us. Like we become fathers, and maybe we're not doing well financially, maybe we're not doing well spiritually, but there's no going back. Now we're a dad, or we made some sort of deal, or something in our life where we have to do something, and maybe we don't feel equipped to do it, and we maybe don't have all the tools and the answers, but we're gonna do it anyways because it's our responsibility, and that's in my opinion, the thing that gravitates us towards Spider-Man. Anyways, so obviously, in order to fix Marvel, it's kind of at the point of no return. You have to start from scratch because you know actors get old, man. Like even if you put the CGI, like think about the Irishman. They put Robert De Niro, but maybe it's an acting thing. I don't know, but Robert De Niro, he looked young, but like the way his body shape was, he wasn't fit. So his parts of his body looked like an old man, and then the way he walked like an old man. So like there was a element of unconvincing there. Versus Al Pacino, takes acting I think way more seriously than even your top actors, where he did in certain roles he talks about how he had to like walk differently, or he had to learn he had to play a younger man, so then he had to realize how fast men at that age walked and if he was matching that, and so then he had to really like up his fitness in a role that isn't required for him to have a fit body. Like that's the sign of a true actor right there. That is like really wants to perfect their craft and make something. But like Chris Evans, he's whatever you want to say about his acting ability. When you fluctuate, like something bodybuilders understand is, as you grow older, especially if you fluctuate in muscle, yes, you have muscle memory, but there's certain things of your body that won't recover. Like your legs, after the age of like 35, really hard to bring them up. And if you keep cutting weight and bulking up and cutting weight, even with steroids and whatever else anabolics that you use, you're gonna have some size come back, but it isn't gonna be to the level of before. And that's also dangerous for longevity and everything. So like, and who knows if those actors even want to come back? Like some actors just look freaking terrible. Like they age like freaking milk. So you're not gonna want to see him back. Like to this day, I still want to see Edward Norton back as Hulk. I think I think even though Mark Ruffalo did a phenomenal job in the Avengers movie, they didn't know what to do with Hulk after that. I think Edward Norton still is one of the best Bruce Banners there is. To me, he's convincing as a scientist. Mark Ruffalo is convincing too, only in that movie though. To me, he's just like another goofball, and it's still a weird storyline that he had with Black Widow. Like I understand, and but yeah. Um, and again, like where are you gonna, in order to fix it, you literally have to go back in time in its own universe, and you have to rewrite all these rules. Like Wolverine and Deadpool came out, and if whoever's listening to this, maybe some of you are like, no, no, we've had one good movie after Infinity War. Even like is Wolverine and Deadpool. No, that movie storyline sucked. Awful. Fun, enjoyable, terrible movie. Why? Like everything that he was going through, like we already saw two movies prior. Like why is his girlfriend or fiance still like feeling the same way she did in the first movie after their breakup, but then they fixed it? Like it's stupid. They wouldn't be like it. That would already be done with, but they keep backtracking. And then the whole anchor human or mutant thing, like that's so dumb. So like, is each universe only 80 years old? Like, because then you could just die, and then there's no more anchor, and that universe implodes. That's to one being. Like, that's just dumb. There's no way that like you could build a universe around that. Like, nobody's thinking. They're just writing stuff down, and then like, yep, that's the new lore. That's it. That's how it's gonna be to explain this next scene that I want to do. It's an and then story, and then this happens, then this happens. It isn't like this happens, and then here are the consequences of this action that makes sense, and then we go to that consequence, and then you keep writing what that consequence, what actions he takes with that consequence to lead to this other consequence, and like it's just an and then story. Like, and then he got a rocket launcher, and then he got in a car, then he went down a water slide. Then he shot that rocket launcher to the moon. Then he transported to the moon, and then took the rocket and threw it back at Earth, and then transferred to the sun and absorbed the rocket using a magnetic pulse. Like where the freak is the are the lines? Like what's connecting this there? No, that's what an and then story is. It's freaking retarded. So again, like not only do you have to get new writing, new writing staff completely, you have to go back to the original comics. You have to admit that you were wrong. You have to apologize to the fans. Ain't none of this ever gonna happen. The only way for like a whole revolution type thing, I don't know, it should just show a bunch of balloons. The only way for any of this to actually like change is if Marvel was sold to somebody else. And that's it. Which is also not gonna happen. Like there might be a way to fix all this, but like we're in an era where we have to we every all the fans are gonna know who's the director, what their political beliefs are, what their religious beliefs are, and it isn't that as fans we're gonna be like, oh yo, because he's not in the same religion, I'm not gonna watch his movie. No, it's more gonna be like a concern that they're going to put their beliefs into a property where their beliefs have no business being in. Like like if you go through some tragedy in life, most likely some of your stories are gonna be related to that tragedy. So therefore, if you are honest with yourself, you'll step back and let's say you're creative, You'll step back. Maybe you'll write some one-off movie related to your tragedy to kind of get that out of your system. Maybe you go through a series, whatnot, but you're not going. If you're honest, you're not gonna go and grab, like Blade and make him. And let's say you lost your daughter, which would be terrible, and then write a story where he had a kid, and then his grief, so that like the director's inserting himself into Blade, so we're not actually getting the character Blade. We're just watching the director play out his diary using Blade. Like that's not something. As much as the grief is terrible, like we don't want that, and you shouldn't be doing that. And I know all this seems like common sense, but if you go to any freaking movie in the past like 10 years, like most of the time you're gonna get garbage or self insert from some studio head or a director or something, and it sucks. Like what the freak? Like there used to be a culture like that Hollywood provided, where every weekend a family could go out to the movies, not know what they're gonna do, what restaurant they're gonna go to. They're gonna go and enjoy themselves, pick a movie, and then that's it. They're gonna watch that as a family, whether it be good or bad. They're gonna have an enjoyable experience and then go home. Now it's like even though like not too long ago Snoop Dogg went, I don't know if it'd be called going viral, but he was making the rounds of him just telling his experience taking his niece to watch Buzz Lightyear, and there was a lesbian couple. And he's like, "What the freak now? Now I have to answer questions to my niece of like, where's the dad? Why is this happening? Why is there two ladies having a kid? Like, what are they talking about?" And then he's just like, "Shut up and eat your popcorn." And like ask your parents when you get home. Like now, like if you go through that experience, you don't want to go to the movies. You don't want to risk that. Like leave it to the parents to teach whatever they want to teach, and leave it to life to expose them to this stuff. Like, dude, I don't think I saw my first like gay person until I was a teenager. I might have saw some as a kid, but didn't register anything. But until I was a teenager, isn't when I like, oh, like that chick holding hands with that chick. That's not a friendly thing. They're doing stuff, you know. Like that's weird. Like people do that, and then like it wasn't even until I saw like a movie where there was like a lesbian kissing, and then I was like, oh shoot. So that's what people are talking about. Like I always made jokes, but didn't connect the two. And then my parents were there to be like, yeah, man, life, dude. It's weird, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's weird. And they're like, cool, moving on. And then let them teach, but don't freaking shove it down kids' throat through your media. That again, you have the privilege of writing and creating something that people are gonna go spend their hard-earned money on and watch to enjoy themselves. Like life sucks so much for everybody. Everybody goes through a hard time. Doesn't matter how financially well you are or whatever. It sucks. It's hard at times. And they'll still take some money out that they probably don't have enough of, like most of us, and then go to the movies and watch your movie. And you want to go and put freaking your ideology in it because you think you're the savior of the world. Like, dude, like people are gonna start getting pissed, man. And then you're gonna be out of a job. Like, because you're providing nothing to the marketplace. And you're ruining something we love. As simple as freaking Buzz Lightyear. But yeah, like I'm not gonna explain how to save Marvel. Maybe I could do that in another video or another live stream. But I'm not like I wouldn't expect too much of it. I would go to not like a franchise comic shop. I would try to find a comic shop, maybe even an hour away from your place. Dude, just go there, find some like older um employee there, and then pick their brain of which comic books you should read on. There's even some libraries that have like omnibuses and comics, or just look up YouTubers and message them or watch a video where they recommend some comics. A safer bet, not it's not 100% foolproof, but anything before 2010, you're in like a green zone where like you're gonna get a good comic, even if it's one of the crappier ones. It's gonna be light years beyond anything past 2012 at least. So yeah, like I was at the actually library just today, and then I went. I saw Frank, not Frank Miller. I saw Daredevil and Electra comic, and I opened it up, and I knew it was a garbage comic as soon as I saw the Punisher in there with that weird logo they tried out, which is like the skull, but it has like these wavy eyebrows. It just looks freaking ridiculous. And I'm like, that's not the Punisher. And I didn't even take time, but I know it's like they try to do the Punisher with no guns. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they tried doing that. Yeah. So like, if you want Daredevil comics, Frank Miller, you know, or is it Frank Millar? Maybe I'm getting things messed up. Frank Miller's run is great. Even like I say one of the franchise comic book shops, like Coliseum of Comics, they have omnibuses, so you're not gonna. And again, comic books are pretty expensive now. You can find like $100 comic books, just like one, like obviously there's $1 million comic books like the like Batman #1 and Superman #1, all that stuff. But I'm talking about like if you want a full run, it's gonna be really expensive. So an omnibus is um, a great start. There's also, not trying to advocate for Marvel, but there is an app, and DC has an app where all the comics are all there, all of them that they've ever created, so you can actually read them. So if you are like an OCD dude and you're like, I need to start from the very first, even if it's garbage, like simple story, like Superman saving a cat and helping a little girl out, like to her classroom and whatnot. Like, okay, yeah, you're gonna go through some stinkers until you get to good stories, then stinkers again, then another good story. It's kind of like watching South Park season 1 again to try to catch up. It's rough. Great jokes, but not great episodes. But like that's usually where you're gonna go through is you're gonna go through some rough comics if you're that kind of OCD. Now, if you don't know where to start, look up the. This is gonna sound bad, but pick the art you like the most before 2010. Just pick the art and then see if it like gravitates. Okay, be objective in the story. Then talk to people who know comic books, ask recommendations, and dude, nerds, we are happy to share what we love. Like, if you talk to me and we're talking about Lord of the Rings, especially, or any comic books, like, dude, I will freaking give you like an encyclopedia worth of where you should start, which um Justice League stories are the best, like why the animated series is so great, and how which comics they pulled from what and did this episode with, like, or like their inspiration came from this and this and that. Dude, nerds, as weird as we get, we're going to, like, we might not talk to you at all, but as soon as you ask us what we like and you want to know which is the best comic, dude, we'll be like we're gonna be the happiest people on earth sharing at that time, sharing stuff with you. Like, it's gonna be great. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about Marvel a little bit. It's been a while. I still like, as garbage as it is, I still like talking about it. You know, I think it's important to talk about it. I think like, people forget that the fans, real fans, we are the ones that determine this stuff. Like, the reason why Marvel got bad is because honestly, we allowed it to get bad. We didn't voice our opinions enough in the beginning. It's like me and my wife talk about it all the time. Like if we don't fix the small problems, they'll eventually become the big problems, and those big problems will lead to divorce, to massive issues in the marriage, whatnot. So it's important to treat these small problems as catastrophes and make sure they don't snowball up. So like the only fandom that is able to do that or has ever done that is the Tolkien fandom, because it's so, not a pun, but it's so precious to us, and it's an educated fandom. Like they read, like usually they're college professors. They analyze it. They are honest with themselves and objective. Like so, the reason why Rings of Power doesn't do well, the only reason they still exist is because they have $1 trillion company behind them. They could probably go through 10 seasons and still Amazon will never admit that it sucked. But the reason like nobody watches it is because those who are real fans, like we have not allowed like a single inch of disrespect towards Tolkien. With Marvel, with DC, we've allowed that way too much. Way too much. You know, with Star Wars, you know, that's another dead franchise. Like it's dead, man. Like we lost that war. And that one for sure is like the only way is for somebody else to own it. Back to privately owned. Like Disney can't fix that. Even if they retcon everything, brought the EU back and did 20 straight movies that were perfect because of their past and whatever else they're connected to. Like in order for Star Wars to be good, they have to make Marvel good. They have to fix Indiana Jones. Everything needs to be fixed that Disney controls for us to even think one property is back. Because if something is still in the back of your head, like it's still Disney, at any time they could flip that switch and then screw everybody over, reel them back in. Because you see it in shows that they'll dangle the keys in front of you. You're like, no, no, we're sticking true to the comics, and then maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes are good, and it's a strategy in Hollywood. Then it brings back the old fans, be like, okay, okay, I'll start watching, I'll catch up, and then they got these good numbers. Then boom, they'll just like throw some crazy episode that is just insane, just nothing to do with the previous 3 episodes, and now we're gonna get this slop for the rest of the show. And because we're all stupid, we're gonna be like, well, now because I started it, I have to finish off the season. Because I'm sick of scrolling for 3 hours and trying to find something good. And like, might as well watch, and maybe I'll get a chuckle out of something. Maybe I'll get something out of this. Maybe they'll fix themselves. Like we're creatures of hope. We want things to get better. We hope for the best. We give the benefit of the doubt, but we do have to be harsh because we're gonna keep like. I think it is important to save these properties. I think too many people are like, no, it's dead. We gotta move on. Like people starting their own comic book companies and stuff. I think it's great. If you got a story to tell, you should tell it. But remember, if you die and you never tried to save the things that actually inspired you in the first place, then some other fool's gonna take that thing because you're dead, and now they can make profit off it. And you know, 50 years down the road, now it's another hot woke garbage that nobody cares about no more, because also nobody had the balls to go out and try to save it. I think people are trying to save the things they love now, but we need more people actually doing that. Anyways, um, I might end the stream here. I just wanted to come back and like kind of vent, do the review of this because I think it's nice, and I've never done a review and like before, and so I'm like, hey, might as well do something. But yeah, like who knows? Maybe I'll do 2 to 3 streams a week just for fun, really. But yeah, guys, like Marvel, don't hope for much. Actually, don't hope for anything. Like keep them to a standard. It freaking sucks. Just don't give them anything. It is terrible. They're not gonna come out with a good show. It's just not gonna happen. At least in the next 4 years, the very least, or a good movie. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the stream. Thanks for coming back, guys. Like I know it's been a while. I'm trying to figure everything out. Like I'm just doing this on my own, you know. But yeah, I'm just having fun. Hell yeah.